On a cold Tokyo morning, I stood before a room of journalists, asked who the toughest soldiers were. My answer surprised them. The Filipino soldier. Their strength isn't just in weapons or discipline, but in spirit. Facing storms with courage and finding joy in hardship. True strength, I learned, is found in the bonds that make them a family. Raised in the shadow of the samurai, I believe discipline and perfection defined a soldier. My career took me across Asia, always searching for the perfect force. Then, I was sent to the Philippines, expecting chaos and weakness. Instead, I found laughter, music, and camaraderie, strength in a form I never expected. My first few weeks in the Filipino camp were a culture shock. In Japan, our barracks were silent and orderly. Each soldier had his own space, his own duties. We spoke only when necessary. Here, the barracks were a hub of constant activity. After a long day of grueling training under the hot sun, the soldiers did not retreat into silence. Instead, they would gather together. One soldier would bring out a guitar and start playing a familiar tune. Soon, others would join in, their voices rising in song. They sang about love, about home, about hope. It was a beautiful, powerful sound that filled the night air. I remember one soldier, a young man named Corporal Reyes. He was the camp's unofficial chef. Even with simple rations, he could create a feast. He would find wild vegetables in the jungle or get a fresh catch from a nearby river. He would cook a large pot of adobo or sinigang, and everyone would share. "General," he would say with a big smile, "you must eat. A full stomach makes a happy warrior." They did not just share food, they shared their lives. They talked about their families, their problems, and their dreams for the future. They listened to each other. They supported each other. They were a family in every sense of the word. The challenges were immense. The training was brutal. We would march for days through dense, unforgiving jungle. We crossed swollen rivers and climbed muddy hills. The heat was draining and the insects were relentless. In any other army, the soldiers would have become silent, grim-faced machines, focused only on survival. But not the Filipinos. They used humor as a shield against hardship. They would make jokes about the leeches, about the rain, about their tired feet. Laughter was their secret weapon. It kept their spirits high. It reminded them that they were in this together. It turned a miserable experience into a shared adventure. One evening, after a particularly difficult exercise, I saw a soldier quietly cleaning another's rifle. The second soldier was exhausted, barely able to move. His friend had finished his own tasks and, without being asked, started helping his brother. There was no order given. There was no expectation of reward. It was a simple act of kindness, of pakikisama, of being one with your group. I realized then that their strength was not just individual. It was collective. Each soldier was made stronger because he was not alone. He was part of something bigger than himself. A web of relationships built on trust and genuine care. During a powerful typhoon, I saw Filipino soldiers transform courage into action. While I followed protocol, they rushed into the storm, rescuing families, carrying the elderly, comforting children. Their bravery wasn't just in battle, but in risking their lives for others. That day, I realized true strength is found in compassion and heart. In the Filipino army, I witnessed true resilience. Like Private Santos, who shared his last cracker with a hungry comrade. Sergeant Aguilar risked his life, distracting the enemy with jokes so we could survive. And Colonel de la Cruz, who dove into floodwaters to save a stranded family. These men showed me that true strength is selflessness, courage, and brotherhood. My life was built on Bushido, the way of the warrior, where strength is a solitary pursuit and emotion is weakness. In the Philippines, I found Bayanihan, a path where honor is shared, and strength comes from unity. Bushido is a solitary mountain, Bayanihan, a strong, interconnected forest. I once thought emotion was weakness. I was wrong. Their greatest strength is each other. So I stand here today, on October 20th, 2025, back in this formal room in Tokyo, and I see things differently. The world measures military strength in fighter jets, in naval ships, in the number of troops. We create rankings based on budgets and technology. By those standards, the Philippines may not be at the top of the list, but those standards are incomplete. They measure the body of an army, but they fail to measure its soul. The toughest soldier is not the one with the best weapon. The toughest soldier is the one with the strongest reason to fight and the most resilient spirit. He is the soldier who can smile through the storm. What makes the Filipino soldier the toughest in Asia? It is their heart. It is their incredible ability to find joy in the middle of suffering. It is their unwavering loyalty to their comrades. It is their selfless compassion for the people they protect. They have a weapon that no technology can defeat, their humanity. They have a defense system that no enemy can penetrate, their unity. They are warriors with the hearts of servants, lions in battle who can be as gentle as lambs with a child in need. This unique combination of courage and compassion, of ferocity and family, is what makes them truly formidable. The world has much to learn from them. In an age where we are becoming more disconnected, the Filipino soldier reminds us of the power of community. In a world that often values material wealth, they show us the richness of the human spirit. They teach us that true strength is not about being unbreakable, but about being able to bend without breaking and to help others stand tall. They teach us that leadership is not about giving orders from a safe distance, but about sharing the risks and leading with love. This is a lesson not just for armies, but for all of humanity. And so, my answer to the reporter was simple, but it came from a deep and profound experience. It was a tribute to the men who reshaped my understanding of honor, courage, and strength. I went to the Philippines to teach, but I became the student. I left a part of my old self in that jungle camp, and I brought back a new wisdom. The toughest soldiers in the world are not machines. They are human beings at their very best. They are fathers, brothers, and sons. They are the Filipino soldiers, and it was my greatest honor to walk among them,